Hello, ladies and gents. Are you all ready to do some cooking? I'm going to start out, like I said, it's going to be instead of salmon patties, I'm doing tuna patties because people seem to be wanting to do things that cost less. And macaroni and cheese and cream peas. And I already made a little fruit salad. I'm going to tell you what's in it because it takes too much time to do everything in video. You'd be here way too long. So anyway, what I'm going to do, first of all, I preheated my oven to 375, and I have about about close to probably 4 tablespoons of butter in here, and it's going to melt, and I'm going to add some flour and then make the roux for the macaroni and cheese. And I have took this baking dish and I greased it because this is going to go in the oven after we get everything mixed up. Okay, in this bowl I have several cheeses in here. I took the American cheese, it's the Velveeta cheese. We have a little bit of some blends of cheese, and I put cream cheese and a little bit of sharp cheese. It's a little mixture of everything. I tasted it. It tastes pretty good. So I'm going to leave it like that to go on there. What you need to do when you're doing that, just get the cheeses together that you like and go ahead and get them mixed together and melt them so you have an idea where you are, because you can add different kinds of cheese. Like some people like Swiss, they like all different kinds of cheese in there. So it's entirely up to you. That's just what I did, and I used some of this. And then, of course, on the top, when it goes in, because I'm going to try to get it kind of browned, the old-fashioned kind, I'm going to put some sliced sharp cheese. It got kind of soft coming home from the store because it's so hot out. But anyway, I'm going to use some of the slices on the top. And I've already cooked my macaroni and have it ready. You want it a little al dente. You don't want to cook it fully done because it's going to go in the oven and finish cooking. So I'm just telling you, you just don't want to present it unless you want it mushy, and I don't think you do. Macaroni holds up really pretty good. It's pretty forgivable. Let me get this again. Actually here, so I get this butter melted. And like I said, I make it from scratch, so this isn't like out of a box. It's kind of like the old-fashioned that was made back in the 50s and 60s a lot, even in the schools and stuff. That's my grandmother made it. That's the way they made it in school and stuff, in the cafeterias. I used to work in the cafeterias when I got up like in 5th, 6th, and 7th grade. That's all at an elementary school, and then junior high was 8th and 9th, and high school was 10th, 11th, and 12th. So the elementary schools I got up, you could get a free lunch if you help serve in the cafeteria and do some of the cleanup, running the dishes through and taking trash out. So I just enjoyed it. So I enjoyed cooking, and I learned different things. And they let us, as we got older, and the more we got to make pudding and things like that, the things that the apple crisp like I did and stuff. So that's the way I learned some of that stuff too. Anyway, plus some of my own in there. I'm just taking this because we're going to get this all blended, and we're going to cook this until it gets that raw taste of the flour out. You don't want the raw taste of the flour. Again, I'm not going to add any salt at this time because cheese has a tendency to be pretty salty anyway. But I am going to add black pepper. It needs a black pepper, and I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to add a few other things that's kind of interesting that you want to let cook down here a little bit. Let me turn this down. So I'm going to put the milk base and the cheese in. Set this off for just a second. I have a little bit of dry mustard, paprika, and just a tiny pinch of the cayenne pepper. And I also have a little bit pinch of nutmeg in it because that's what my grandmother used a lot. And she can just put this in and let it kind of take the flavors up in this roux for the macaroni and cheese, and it's kind of going to turn an orange color anyway because of the paprika and stuff. And like I said, I'm going to add a little bit of sugar in here because I told you she had to put a little bit of sugar in everything. So now I'm going to add some of this. This is some heavy cream and water that's been diluted, because I need to get this thinned out a little bit. And it's probably going to need a little more water because it's the heavy cream, like you do with whipped cream. So let me get this going here. And get this all, you don't want it lumpy, so you want to let it cook and get any lumps at all. With some of the spices and flours, I want to lump up a little bit on there. Just get that in here. Get this going. Let me get a little whisker, just a little bit. Lightly done. I'll get this. Good. Okay. It's about where I want it. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to actually get ready to turn that burner off totally on this. And I'm going to slowly start putting some cheese in, and I always put the sugar in it. Because you're going to want to taste this and see where you're at. And it's going to be pretty thick. And this is pretty rich because you want it to, a lot of people use it to replace even meat, a meat dish, and you can use that. It's good the next day. Your kids seem to enjoy this. I'm going to get this all blended in here. It's probably going to need a little bit more milk because you've got all this macaroni that I've got to go here. Just going to go in over there. I'm going to hold it back just a touch to make sure I'm going to have room in that. And you just keep kind of blending this until you get your cheese blended in with your roux. And you also want to make sure, and it's got a little bit of things in from where the cream cheese didn't quite get dissolved in the other piece of cheese I put in there, but it'll work its way out in the stove. Excuse me a minute. In the oven. Let me taste this and see where we're at on this. I have to put maybe, it's really rich. So, and definitely I'm going to put a little sugar in there. Absolutely. I'm used to it being tasting a certain way, and you get used to that, and that's just the way she did it. She just put that, used that in there all the time. So a little tiny bit more because that whipping cream is pretty, making it pretty thick. So I want to think about just a tiny bit. I'm going to turn the burner on back on to just a minute, get this going. But this is what I do when I make the macaroni and cheese. And like I said, the cream cheese and the sharp cheddar I put in there, that was grated. It's still trying to cook its way down. Get another spoon. See if I can taste this and see where we're at. I think it's probably still pretty thick, but it's getting there. That's a lot better. You can just taste a little hint of the stuff I put in, not much. You cannot ever taste in that bag. I don't know. It's just always been added. A little pinch in any kind of white sauces, it seems like. It does need some more pepper. Okay, yeah, this is getting where I want it. I don't make a mess and get it all over the burner. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to put this in with the macaroni. We're going to mix this up, and then we're going to transfer it to the baking dish. And it's really, this has got a lot of cheese in it, I'm telling you. It's really thick. So I'm going to get a bigger baking dish. So use a separate one. But it's there, and it's getting good. Now let me move this other way so I can, if you can see this a little better. You want to get that all blended and then taste it again. and see where you're at on it. Make sure it's where you want it. This is still kind of thick, so I probably. It's really rich, guys. It really is. I'm going to add a little bit more pepper. And a little bit more of that mustard in here. And touch of the garlic powder, just a little pinch of it. Bring it some down. It's getting right there where I want it. It's really thick, and it reminds me a lot of what you get at Chick-fil-A, some of those places. The way theirs is real thick. It bakes good. Because like I said, it's really thick. And it's really cooked, pretty much. It's going to finish in the oven as much as you're going to want it. I'm glad I took that little bit of macaroni out, because I figured I had that where I had overdone it on there. I did. So now it's going to fit pretty good in there. This is going to make sure it gets all your macaroni coated good. Because it's thick. That's what you want it to be. So next I'm going to take, and I'm going to put some of the cheese slices on the top. And that will help it, the browning, that kind of brown, almost like a crunchy coating you get on the top. It's really good, I think. So, and I'm just going to take, just kind of lay it like this. I'm not going to put it all over, but just kind of put it kind of like this. And that way, as it melts, it's going to bubble up and hopefully get that brown. And then you'll get to see the end result. I'm going to put that in right now. Oven's ready. And it's going to go in. And I will check it in a little bit. Let me rinse my hands off, guys. And then I'll go to the next step is going to be the tuna patties. And I have to get a clean skillet so we can fry them. Let me get this wiped up so I don't have any grease or anything on there. I already took 3 cans of the tuna. I'm using tuna instead of salmon. That's about how much you got. And I'm going to take and put a little bit of pepper in there. And then I'm going to have my other stuff. Let me move the other stuff over here that I have. That's going to go in this. Get the cheese out of the way. It's kind of interesting ingredients, but that's what makes it. And I've even got a little sauce that you can serve with it that I'm going to show you all. So I'm going to take these breadcrumbs and put in here, or cracker crumbs, whichever you want to call them. They're crackers, actually. And I'm going to use 2 eggs, but I'm going to break them in this bowl one at a time to make sure I don't get any egg, shell in there. You don't want that. Your eggs in your food, and I did. And when you do that, kind of tip it to the side. Just take the tip of your finger and it's usually right out. And it's better if you have these eggs at room temperature while you're doing this. So I'll put this one in here first and check it and make sure. And let me see. I think that's just some of the fat on them. They get that little fat things on them. And some way, that's the way, let me get that out. That's the way they say they grade the eggs, by that fatty stuff that's on the side of the eggs. And some of them's got pretty big pieces in there. So anyway, I'm going to get the one who's has pretty big. Yeah, I got the cups out. And just kind of beat them a little bit. And I'm gonna get a little bit of milk to put in here after I get everything else in here. 3 cans of tuna, and you got your cracker crumbs. I used a whole sleeve of crackers, and I used 2 eggs well beaten. I also have the juice from a lemon. That's what she used, juice from a lemon. And just put in there. And also some lemon peel. About, oh, I gotta lay just a tiny bit for the sauce form, but that's about a half to 3/4 of a teaspoon in there. But it was, the whole lemon was grated, so I'm gonna give this a little tiny stir here. So I got other things that go in here. And we're going to put the tops of some scallions in here, like that. And this is already fully, your tuna's already cooked, so it's just making the patties and frying them and making them, you know. And what you want to do is kind of test it and see if it's going to hold together, and which, you know, it seems like if they're going to hold together. Pretty good. You don't want them real dry either, but it's not going to make a whole bunch either, so don't expect it to make a whole bunch. It's not going to make a bunch. I'll get my hands cleaned up, and then I will get going. And I've also got to make the cream cheese for y'all too, and that sauce, and I'll show you that fruit stuff. Let me get the skillet out and get it going. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit of olive oil and put it on medium. And I have this extra right now. I'm just going to put a little bit in there to fry these with. Is all I'm going to do. Just, you know, a little above the medium thing, and let it, you don't need a whole bunch because, like I said, they're already cooked. You just kind of get a coating on them. So, mix this up a little more. Make sure it's setting up, because you let it set a couple of minutes, and you can usually tell too if it's going to set up good like that. You get this other stuff out of my way. So I'm going to wait till this gets a little hot. And the cheese is melting good on top of that. I'm going to turn the light on so I can keep checking it. It's going to do pretty good. Anyway, let's get going on this. And this should be getting hot to where I can, looks like it is. Let me try one of these and see. I'm going to have to just stay with this, and because I got to wash my hands afterward, because it is a fish product. You know, it's canned, and it's hot enough. They're going to cook like that. Just get just a tiny bit. Yeah, it's on one side, not on the other. Okay, it's starting to go there. And like I said, I'm not going to make them huge because you don't really need them real big, because you're having the macaroni and cheese and the cream cheese with it. So it's going to be kind of filling anyway. I'm trying to get those in like that. And they do, you let this set for a little bit and let the crackers absorb in there with the other stuff, you know, the eggs and stuff, then they start holding together much better. It's much easier to work with. I need to wash my hands again. Really good. Here. You get over, I need just a tiny bit more oil in there. So, let's take a minute. There you go. Just to get going. I'm going to get a spatula to turn these with in a little bit. And I just keep checking on my cheese, my macaroni and cheese, because that cheese on the top is starting to brown. Like I said, and let me get a hot holder. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it so it doesn't come browning evenly on there. There we go. You gotta watch these tuna patties because they will pop you. So, gotta watch that. One thing that I'm probably gonna get, unless we're probably gonna get 6 out of here, which that's not bad. And the cost, I mean, I got the tuna actually on sale. They had a 2 for $1, and it was the bumblebee. And actually, I have some that I ordered and threw them out too. That's supposed to be a better grade tuna, and it's pretty good too. It makes really good tuna salad sandwiches and stuff. So I'm gonna wait till I get a couple of those moved before I try to crowd it. Oh, they're gonna fall apart. I try to crowd it too much. What's my hands again? You can use gloves, but you know, guys, my hands are in and out of stuff when I'm moving around making things, so makes a difference. After I get done, I wash my hands for the last time and I turn those. I'm going to show you what I put in this fruit salad, and we're going to make a sauce for the tuna patties. It's a little thing, and I'll show you what I did. Do that. We always slice a little bit of lemon. Sometimes people like to squeeze lemon on there. I know they do on salmon. And look, it's just a milder form, and it's cheaper than the salmon. I looked at the salmon in the store, and it was like almost $4 for a salmon. It's ridiculous. And here I got like $1.50 in the tuna, and then your crackers. I got a couple eggs in here. Good things you have around the scallion top, so it's not that bad, actually. This stuff is really popping. I need to get a lid so it doesn't get grease all over. This is a shield. I'm just going to sit that on so they brown. Anyway, I went ahead and I did slice some. This is from the lemon. You can see it hasn't got much filling on it because I took it off for this sauce. So I've got the ingredients. I got a little bit of, for the sauce, is a little bit of lemon zest from that lemon. And I have in here, I have mayonnaise, I have dry mustard, and just kind of eyeball it, a little bit of hot sauce. And I have some relish here. And that's what's going to go in this. I'm going to mix this all together, and this is going to be the sauce in a little bit for the salmon, or the tuna patties. We always call them mock tuna patties. A lot of people use that mackerel instead of the, you can see, they're holding it. They use mackerel, ooh, bopping, instead of the, salmon, you know, because it's cheaper, but it doesn't, to me, it's oily and greasy. I don't like it. I tried it years ago. It's just got too strong of a fish taste to it for me. Okay, those are doing really good, as you can see. And I'll show them to you when I'm done. I'll put them on a plate and show you. And I'm going to have to get everything ready. And I'll show you the fish and stuff again. And macaroni is doing really good. Make sure that's not, and it's not drying out either at all. It's staying just really like you want it to. Really is. Now Saturday I'm going to do a pork loin. I'm going to sear it, and it's going to go in a crock pot finish. Or I may do it in the oven. I haven't decided for sure, but I may put it in the crock pot. Depends on the temperature outside and everything. But it's going to have applesauce on it and apple juice. That's what it's going to be marinated in. And I'm going to make a friend of mine give me the recipe for the garlic cheese spinach. And I'm going to try about a half a batch tomorrow because I love spinach anyway. But I want to make sure that it's going to work. And she told me to try it, but to use a mandolin for the onions. But I'm going to tell you what happened. years ago, well, my husband's already been gone 8 years, so it's probably 10 years ago. I got one of those, and I got cut bad the first time I used it, and he put it up. He didn't want me to use it. He said it was just too dangerous, and he said you just don't need to be messing with that. You don't pay close enough attention to what's going on. But okay, so I don't even know where it's at. I was looking for it. I have no idea where this thing's at, so I don't know what he did with it. He made it. And really got rid of it, so because they are pretty sharp, but I cut myself pretty bad. Was just a little cut. All right, I'm gonna rinse my hands again. I hope it's the last time messing with that fish, so I don't have to do this. But if I don't mind wearing gloves, but let me tell you, it's a hassle when you're trying to pick up other things and work with it, you know, and stuff. But make sure you keep this area clean around your stove, because if you get a little bit of oil or anything, it could actually spark and start, you know, a fire or something. You're really good. I've done it. I've had grease fire from me. But anyway, like I said, here is the lemon. It's going to be for the to serve on the side with those. I think these other two are done. They're brown, and they smell really good. They smell really nice. They don't smell have that strong taste or smell to them at all. And I love salmon, but I'm trying to show you things that you can do that's good, and it's a little bit cheaper, you know, than, I mean, I'd rather pay, even if you pay 75 cents a can and you use 3 of them, you're still looking at $2.25 compared to 4, and that was the cheapest can of tuna, salmon I seen. Pink salmon went all the way up to, I seen some for like $5.98 for just a regular can of, and I thought, my goodness, you know, it's really gone up, and it's just not that good to pay that kind of money for that. And your macaroni and cheese, you have a little cost with your cheese, but you're getting a big batch of cheese. And you can have that for, you see it's starting to brown. It's doing what I want to do. On the top there. You turn it again, yeah, and get it underneath there. Okay, there we go. Now my stove is old. Like I said, my husband got this for me the first year that we were married, so that was in 1990. So this stove is old, and I replaced this heating element inside one time. It was like $80, so that wasn't bad. And we got this stove on sale at Sears. It had a little bitty scratch on it here, and it looked white, and he took some stuff, I don't know what he put on there, and it stayed on there, and he sold that, and it's, you know, it made like, I think $200 and some difference on the price, is what it did. So I didn't mind the scratch at all. Like one of those scratch and dents, but they don't have those places like they used to. Sears isn't around anymore, so. Okay, these last two are just about done. And the cook a couple more seconds there. Then I'll show you the sauce, and I'll show you how I made this fruit salad, because I thought it sounded good to go something light at the end, to go something like this. And you know, this is kind of a summer meal, you know, and you know, it's different. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do Saturday. And then the next week, I forget what date I posted. I think it was for the next Tuesday. That's when I'm going to do the cheese enchiladas and guacamole on the side. And I'm also going to do my pico de gallo. So I'm going to do those from scratch, the sauce also. So if you're interested in something like that, I'm going to do that. And then I have one thing where I've got ham salad. I have macaroni salad, fried rice, that a girl wanted to see me make. And I think it was just Jello, special Jello, and they're calling it a bean salad. People were wanting to see some side items. And then when I decide what the next meat dish is going to be after I do all these that I've got posted, I'm going to try to do something to do with those people want to see the Brussels sprouts thing. So I'm going to, hold on a minute, somebody's trying to call in. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I'm going to do that and do the Brussels sprouts. So here is what they look like, the tuna patties. And like I said, I showed you how I did the lemon slices. Let's set it over here. And let me check and I'm going to be taking the macaroni and cheese out in about another 2 or 3 minutes. So anyway, I'm going to show you how I did the sauce and this fruit salad, or how I'm doing it. I took that last little bit, that other fourth of the lemon peel, and I put it in there, and I have a little bit of sweet relish. Oh, and I also use, and here I have mayonnaise, I have the dry mustard, I have a little bit of horseradish, I have a little bit of hot sauce in here. And it just, after you get it all mixed up, and it's not going to be raw hot. And it doesn't make a lot much. You can use what you want, but just kind of, I think this stuff tastes pretty good. I made it before. It's not bad. So I'm tasting here. I'll taste it to see what it's like. It's pretty good. Needs a little bit of, it's not a little bit of pepper in it. So, get a little bit more balanced, I guess you'd say. So I'm gonna I didn't put it in there. But, and it may need a pinch of salt. I'll try it and see. I'm gonna get a little bit of salt over here. Kind of back and forth, because I'm gonna show you the finishing dishes, and I'm gonna do the cream peas last on here. So this is what this is looking like. And listen, that's really good. Really good. That was some lemon on there. Really good. You can just taste a hint of the horseradish and the lemon, a little bit of that hot sauce. It's not bad at all. With the fruit salad, I've cut it up earlier and put in the refrigerator. I have some apples that I took some slices and I cut up. I put some lemon juice on them so they wouldn't turn. And that's what I started with. Then I sliced just, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 strawberries. And I sliced a peach in pieces and put it in here. And I sliced them, believe it or not, I sliced a mango. And I took 1 can of great value pineapple chunks with the juice, so it would have that juice on it. So I didn't add any more sugar or anything to it. It's just the natural pineapple juice. If I had, I think it'd even be better with the real pineapple in it and the juice from that, actually. But anyway, this is what it looks like. And it took me maybe 20 minutes. And you see the time I spent making. Of course, I cooked the macaroni ahead, but I mean, that didn't take but about 15 minutes. And then you get your cheese together another 20. But you can be doing other things, like the macaroni can be cooking, and you can make the fruit salad, and or you could mix your salmon patty, tuna patty mixture up, or the sauce. There's a lot of things that you can do in between while you're it's kind of like multitasking. And I think women are pretty good at that. So I think they do a really good job. Some men might, I don't know. My husband didn't like to do one thing at a time. So, I don't know. He said it was just too much. Okay, this is brown on the top. I don't know if you can see it, but it's done, and it's out, and it smells great. I mean, it really does. It smells good. And so anyway, that is the macaroni and cheese. At least you're getting to see everything finished and how I did. And so next, I'm going to do the cream peas. And I'm not making a whole bunch because it's not a big thing here. I like them, but a lot of people, they don't like them. So let me see. I got mine. This filling here is probably going to be fine. I'm not going to need a lot because I didn't get a lot. These are frozen peas I had left from a bag I opened when I made macaroni salad and something else I put it in. So I just took them and I let them set out, you know, and, get ready, you know, to use them, and I'm gonna actually drain it and make sure there's no water on. And in this, I'm gonna do the same thing we did for the macaroni and cheese. A little bit of the, just a little bit of the butter, which I've got right here. And I'm gonna get, sorry, it's setting up inside. And my flour here. And you're gonna take about 2 teaspoons, or whatever you call them, of it. Put it. You can use butter or margarine. It really doesn't make much difference on that at all. It really doesn't. And it's probably about all the butter you're gonna need. We'll see. And I'm gonna take this, you know, as soon as it melts, and I'm going to put some flour in there. Let me get a little bit of, I need to get a little bit more milk out to use to cream them. So let me get that, because I don't want to bump the camera. I can keep from it, because it always bumps it for some reason. The angle it is. Get some here. And this should be work here. I am going to have to, that's good for using a little bit of whipping cream I had left. I'm going to get this and get a spoon, big spoon, and another one of my little spatula things. And I'm going to take that flour in there a little bit. I think that's about all I'm going to need. We're going to thicken it. We're going to put a little salt and pepper in it when it's done. But then we're going to take and not add much anything to this, actually. Put some salt and pepper. And we're going to take and add some milk. That will go over those peas. And we will see. I'll spill it all. We'll see about how much we need on that. And we'll put some salt and pepper because it's going to be bland. That's all I do. These are sweet, but you want, you know, you want something that's going to give it a little bit more taste too. I might actually put stuff. You might even want to put a little bit more butter in it. Let this thicken a little bit to put on the peas. And if it doesn't, if you get it too, where it doesn't, too thin, just let it cook for a minute and then put the end thicken. It really does. Might take it a minute. And so it's already, I thought it was going to be too thin, but it's doing this right where I want it. Okay, I'll set this off to the side. Let me get some salt and pepper. Because I haven't added anything yet. So I'm going to put some salt. And let me get this pepper in here. Okay. Let me stir this. And then I'm actually going to take and put the peas in here a little bit, like this, and get them coated in there. You don't have to have a whole bunch of sauce. I was going to put some potatoes in here, cream peas and potatoes, and I thought, no, you don't need that. You've got your macaroni and cheese. So it's already got something. You don't need the potatoes and the starch. So that's just too much, but it's good if you take and put those in too. Now this is just a tad bit too thick for me, so I'm going to put just a tad more in it. Let that cook down, and then let me get another little pinch of the butter and let that kind of thin out a little bit because it's a little thick, a little thicker than what I want it to be, actually. And like I said, when you cook from scratch, it's just a guessing game, guys. When you're guessing at things from based on what you've done, you know, that's just what it is. Just a guessing game, mainly from what you've watched other people do, and you've learned through the years, which you've learned a lot sometimes. But I enjoy the cooking. Yeah, I have things that don't always turn out. That's a disappointment, but you know, that life's not perfect, so you can't expect things to always be, um, turn out the best, you know, like if you're expecting, let me taste this and see where we're at. Take it a little bit more pepper, and a little more butter in it, actually. It's just kind of flat, because those are frozen peas, so they need something to really doctor them up a little bit. And I have this little bit of butter left here, and margarine. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in there. It's not gonna hurt. Just gonna put it in there. Rinse my hands off. I might end up using the rest of that little bit of milk I had actually, but I guess that there's not much left in the cup. Let me get this. I gotta get the burner back on. I turned it off. All right, let's get this going. So, like I said, Saturday is going to be a pork loin. I got that one. I think it was $7. This order on Fix. It's going to have apple juice and applesauce in it, and I'll either go in the crock pot or in the oven. You know, I have to take pictures and show you the end results of it, but I may be able to get it done. I might just be able to film the time. We'll see. I'm not sure about how much time it's going to take to cook it, but we'll see. And then I'm actually going to put that little bit of milk back in here. But I guess got it about right. Just a little bit, so. And then, like I said, the cheese, garlic cheese spinach. It has a few steps in it, but it's not bad. I don't think, compared to some things I've made. And then we're going to do, I've already got scheduled ham salad, macaroni salad, the bean salad, and some fried rice, just for some side dishes, and the ham salad, of course, you can use it for side dish or use it for sandwiches. We'll use it like we did the chicken salad. And you just I grate it up myself and add my own stuff to season it. So that'll be one. And then, I don't know, somebody wanted me to do stuffed bell peppers. I'll do those. I can do those. And there it is. It's thickened up, and it's right where I need it to be. So it really is. It's turning out pretty good. I'm impressed about that. Let me see here. I want to taste it one more time. Make sure I've got everything where it should be on it. So, let's see where finishing. That's right. Right. That's perfect. Just needs to get a little hotter on here, which you'll do. Those frozen peas are just great things. They're good in the macaroni salads and all different kinds of dishes, I think, myself. And I'm going to do that Jell-O that I said, this easy with the cream cheese. And it's just not a fancy Jell-O, but it's nice to take. I don't sure to me. And then I'm going to do some tequila lime chicken. I told you I was going to do the enchiladas with those sides, and I'm going to do that. I might do the Brussels sprouts actually, but that tequila lime chicken, that would probably be really good. Since I've just done a pork dish, trying to kind of spread it out. I might end up doing some, make some goulash. That's pretty inexpensive, and people seem to like it pretty well. And maybe fry some potatoes with it. I do have another biscuit recipe. I'm gonna do that tomorrow and just record it, but see how they turn out. But they're supposed to be a much bigger one. Anyway, that's done, and it's hot. And let me get a bowl to take that, put it up in. Or dish. Anyway, y'all have really seen, it didn't take that long, even though I cooked the macaroni ahead. If you want to add an extra, my prep time, add an extra 15, 20 minutes to it. I mean, because I multitask and stuff, but I mean, you can have that done in and out easily by cutting that fruit up. And by the time, just put it in the refrigerator. And by the time everybody's ready for it later or after dinner or during dinner, it'll get cold. By the time macaroni and cheese is done and you've got your tuna patties fried and you've got your peas green. And to me, this just sounded like this is what they look like. Finishing dish. And I don't know, to me it all sounded pretty good. And I even showed you how to do a little sauce for the tuna patties. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me check, and you can check to see who all's there. Hi, Rachel. See, you're in here. But it's not that hard, really hard to cook at all. It's really not. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And I do hope that y'all, I'm trying to do stuff that's not too complicated. And even when I do the cheese enchiladas, it's really not, you're prepping, it's making you're making your sauce, and it's gonna cool. So you'll be able to, while you're frying your corn tortillas and get some of the grease out of them so you can roll them with the cheese inside. It's mixing up the cheese and putting them in there and baking them. It's not complicated. It does take a little time and a few steps. So anyway, I will look at the comments later, and I hope y'all enjoyed what I had. And I will let you know about the biscuits. And I might even make, I've got 2 or 3 bananas over there. They're kind of getting ripe. I might just go ahead in the morning and mix up some banana bread, or sometime tomorrow when I try those biscuits. And I'll record it so y'all can see it. But we are going to get into making pumpkin breads and that stuff. A lot of those with special little sauces that go on them things, and some different cookies and candies for around Thanksgiving and Christmas, and side dishes and sauces and stuff. I think y'all enjoy it. But anyway, that's it for today. Y'all have a good evening and enjoy the rest of your week. And I will see you all on Saturday. Until then, bye guys, and I appreciate you being here.